What you need to know if you are considering starting a blog when you have a chronic illness. Hi, I'm Melissa from melissaversusfibromyalgia.com and founder of Yoga for the Chronic Life Virtual Yoga Studio. I have been blogging for nearly a decade. I don't know how I have to keep saying nearly a decade, but anyway, yep, I've been blogging for nearly a decade. I have had fibromyalgia for much more than a decade, and I am here today to share what you need to know if you are considering starting a blog when you have a chronic illness. So there's a lot of how to start a blog posts, and I feel like they don't really convey the realities of starting a blog and then making money from it. They make it look like you just kind of start a blog and you'll make six figures in the next couple of months. But none of them talk about it from the angle of a person with chronic illness. So we can't just start it and hustle. We can't just start it and work the whole day, come home, do the evening, and then start our hustle, or get up at 5 a.m. and start. That's just not how it works for us. So if you are thinking of starting a blog, it is a fantastic idea to share your journey and to share your knowledge, because especially when you're talking about something like fibromyalgia, we're in such an information void, and we need the patient's perspective, because what helps one person won't necessarily help another. But here are a few things you need to know if you're considering starting it and you want to make an income from it. One, it is not a get-rich-quick scheme or even a get-rich-slow scheme. Most blogs are abandoned in the first year because it takes a lot of work and a long time to see traction. It is worthwhile if you choose a niche that you're passionate about and you end up helping people, and then income is a cherry on the top. Now, I'm not saying that income isn't important. After 8 years and a lot of work, this blog and its offshoots need to make me a part-time income, or I can't sustain it all. I can't have 4 small children, a chronic illness, and 2 jobs. So I get that very much. But this post is containing my learning for you to try and, again, help cut down that journey if that's something you're interested in. So let's dive into blogging is not a get-rich-quick or slow scheme. The fact is that most bloggers make very little or nothing, and many bloggers give up. So the author of this post, percentage of blogs that will fail, they guesstimate over 80% of blogs will fail in the next 18 months. That's over 50 million blogs. So 50 million people or blogs are created and abandoned. I've been running this blog for 8 years. It didn't start with any framework, any system, but me sharing my journey. And that's made it a bit harder for me to tidy up, but I've stuck with it and therefore have over 300 posts and some people who like my work. There is something to be said for commitment. So let's talk about the money. Reports show that 33% of bloggers don't make any money at all. 10% of bloggers take home more than $10,000 per year, while the top 0.6% rake in over 100 million. 0.6%. And remember, this is in context that there are about 50 million blogs that are abandoned. So there are a lot of blogs around. So 0.6% is not much as a percentage, but actually kind of a lot of people, really. But the income highly depends on your niche or subject area. So for example, personal finance is a niche that is much more likely to make an income because the people who are looking at it are really determined to get onto it and probably have more disposable income. But if you start a blog that genuinely helps people with good information, I do believe you can eventually make an income. My blog relies on the tiny affiliate commissions, low-cost products and courses, and donations right now. It's nearly enough to give up my part-time job and rescue a whole lot of spoons. But as we dive into part 2, it takes a lot of work. Like, I have sacrificed a lot of time with my kids, a lot of time to rest, and put a lot of work in to get to here. It takes over 4 hours to write one blog post, and bloggers who publish more frequently get better results. So let's break it down a bit. If it takes 4 hours minimum to write a blog post without factoring in graphics creation, publishing, time spent on social media, and extra support like in Facebook groups, or answering emails and questions, then that's about 800 hours to get 200 blog posts. 800 hours. on top of life. Now, video and audio are huge drivers of traffic. So when we write a blog post, 4 hours, then we have to create video and audio. So whether we jump on camera and record and edit videos for each platform we're on, or we use Canva and create short videos using their awesome features, it still takes a lot of time. So that's just something to factor in. But it is worthwhile if you choose a niche that you are passionate about and you end up helping people, and then the income is the cherry on the top. So as I said above, I believe you can eventually make some income, even if you choose a niche of people that aren't rich with disposable income. But you can gain so much more from blogging than income. So you can actually really make a difference in someone's life, and that's what's kept me around so long. Connection with your people, especially the ones who stick around, is so valuable in this world and with this illness. So if you wanted to start a blog in this niche, some of my best spoony friends were made because they were readers who reached out to me, and I've gained some fantastic skills which are actually useful in my working life. So I could go back to my working life with all of these skills. It just means that I wouldn't be able to keep doing what I'm doing with the blog and the accessible yoga and the groups and things. But here are just a few of the skills I've gathered. Graphic design for content marketing using Canva, best practice for different social media platforms, content marketing, blog management, community management, filming and editing video, speaking, and getting used to speaking to people and creating presentations. I mean, the list is endless of the things that I have learned to do and will learn to do. I am the sort of person who, if I come up against something I don't know, I will learn it, whether that's through a course or YouTube videos, or a book, more likely a course these days, because it's the quickest way to get that information in one place. But all those skills are so valuable. So they are valuable back inside the workforce or back inside whatever else you're doing outside of your blog. So that's just my little thing of what I'd like you to know if you're considering starting a blog. I know it's not really one way or the other. I just wanted to convey the realities. If you still want to start a blog and you have a chronic illness, here's my list for you of what to do. Choose one niche, one platform, one lead magnet, and one way to generate income as your starting business plan. So for example, fibromyalgia, blogging, free book about fibromyalgia, and then maybe a short course based on your book. That's it. That's your business plan to start. Maybe you are interested in blogging about keto for fibromyalgia. I'm not a fan of keto. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, keto for fibromyalgia. Your niche would be keto for fibromyalgia. Maybe you want to have a YouTube channel. That's your platform. Then maybe your freebie would be the top 10 ways to help you adjust to being keto for fibromyalgia, or the top 10 things you need to do. Then your one product might be a course of exactly how to start keto for fibromyalgia, because it's really tricky and difficult. That is something that would help someone, especially if they really want to give it a go. So that's my teeny tiny how to make a business plan if you want to get started. But plan well and break everything down into micro tasks, okay? This is the key to managing loads of things with fibromyalgia, is microtasking. So if you do your planning, break it down into micro tasks, then when you have the time, the energy, the pain ability, you've got your micro tasks ready to go. That's how I've done everything. Now I've created a workbook that can help you through the process in an energy-friendly way. It's called the Paced Guide to Starting a Blog. It's got all of this information in it, and it's a checklist of these things that you would need to do to go through the process. I'm not saying you will start a blog and make a lot of money. I'm just saying here's an energy-friendly way to consider doing it. So if you still want to start a blog, here's my parting advice to you. Take it slow, like one thing at a time. The cool thing about my checklist is I've made it so that you can keep your blinders on. Just look at the one ahead so that you don't get overwhelmed about the massive things that need to be done. And if you're serious and you want to master each step, then you won't burn out, right? One step at a time. Let me know, have you got a blog with a chronic illness? How do you manage it? How do you get it all done? And we'll catch up with you again soon.